at 7 o'clock. Everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. Here.
Roosevelt.
Present.
Platt.
Here.
Wilczewski.
Here.
Lenz.
Here.
Rockhauser.
Here.
Spears.
Here.
Seeley.
Here.
Established.
Okay, do we have any amendments to tonight's agenda? Yes, sir.
I'd just like to call number 2 from public, from consent agenda, public order 2449. I just had a quick question. We can put that on the public first.
You got it. And I would like to move up EDC number 3, the countryside concept plan. Move that up to after consent agenda, so we can get that out of the way. Any other changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We do have one presentation this evening of swearing in of the new patrol officer. Officer Stephen Scott, please come forward. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I, Stephen Platt,
Having been appointed to the office of patrol officer
having been appointed to the office of patrol officer
in the United City of Yorkville,
in the United City of Yorkville,
in the county of Kendall, Edwardside,
in the county of Kendall, Aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of patrol officer
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of patrol officer
of the United City of Yorkville Police Department
of the United City of Yorkville Police Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Welcome aboard. Now, Steve has some family here. Mom and Dad, you guys want to come up? Put some pictures. Mom and Dad, and you have a girlfriend or soon to be fiance here. All right, everybody smile. All right. Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Wasn't mine.
Okay, we do have no public hearing tonight. Do we have any citizen comments tonight? Yes.
Stephanie Todd.
You can step over here, Ms. Todd.
Stephanie Todd, 83 Broccoli in Oswego. Thank you for letting me talk to you tonight. I'm here on behalf of the jail, and I've heard that you made the decision that you're going to dispose of it. And before you do, there were a couple points that I wanted to make. I made myself a list. One of the things is that it takes a long time to make an old building, and this one took 120 years. And I'm just wondering, is there anybody in Yorkville building anything today that's going to survive 120 years? We're not awash in great architecture here. And there's only one other building of its caliber, and it's right across the street. And whatever happens to that old jail also happens to the courthouse. It affects just the same way the homes in your neighborhoods have an effect on your home. In the last 10 years, developers and builders have come to you and they've asked for approval to build subdivisions, strip malls, subdivisions, maybe houses with a design of 30 years, meant to survive a mortgage, strip malls maybe 25. And how many people have ever come to you and asked you to save a historic building? There's one too many. One thing I'd like to point out is that this little jail isn't costing the taxpayers one red cent. Volunteers worked hard to raise enough money to cover the costs, and I understand from Bart that there's enough money still in reserve without fundraising this year to last for several more years. The old jail's going to be 120 years old next year, and it's outlasted many county administrations. Elected officials come and they go every election cycle. After a few years, no one's even going to remember your name. But future generations will know that once there was a building to be proud of there, that some one or two-term politician lacked the vision for the future and didn't have enough respect for the past to save it. I ask you, why now? Is there some urgency that you need that site for some other purpose? Or is the real estate market so hot in Yorkville right now that this is a good time to sell? And will the purchase price, after you pay back economic tourism, will that be enough profit to make a difference to the city's financial future? And finally, I'm not opposed to selling it to the right buyer, because I understand it. You kind of did this under the table. Well, I was a real estate agent for many years, and I've also been involved in historic preservation. There are few and far between good buyers for historic properties, and we certainly don't market a home by word of mouth. You wouldn't sell your house that way, and I don't expect that you'd get the best qualified buyer if you tried to sell your constituents' property that way. So what I'm asking you is just leave it alone. It's not costing anything. It's been there for a long time. People coming into the city, they see it and they know. It says that the people that built this building, they took pride in the county. They were proud of Yorkville. And by saving it, we're going to say we still do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peck. Do we have any other citizen comments? If not, we'll move on to approval of consent agenda. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Colosimo,
Aye.
Wachowski,
Aye.
Spears,
Aye.
Munns,
Aye.
Buckhauser,
Aye.
Koch,
Aye.
Keeling,
Aye.
Heft.
Aye. Okay, at this point, we're going to move up to the countryside concept PUD plan. Mainly because I'm really excited and I don't want to wait. So, Ken, yes, absolutely. As most of you probably know, we are here to talk about Countryside Center and bringing in a large movie theater complex with 10 screens. And they do have a presentation here. And I will say no more. I don't want to steal your thunder.
We'll be real brief. Throw it to you folks. Wait, we can do that, folks. Dan Kramer, on behalf of the petitioner, James Rados, who's here with me tonight. Jim is purchasing the entire Country Center property from Bank of America, which is a little bit over 18 acres. The theater project would be 7.5 acres of that. And I know Lynn's worked really hard trying to find this user for the community. It actually worked out, and a familiar name to you, who you've been dealing with, Jason Pizzola, knew this particular group. They had experience nationwide installing 10-screen cinemas. It's a family-run operation. So we think they would be a real asset to the community. So the first leg of the journey would be the actual cinema project. And they would anticipate a very, very quick start. Unfortunately, winter construction, but we would hope to get the ground early January. Financing, everything goes well for them from their end. Jim is set on his and ready to go. In terms of the rest of the property, we think you would get some very good complementary users that would bring in some sales tax and amusement tax both. These tend to be draws from a regional area rather than just the city. So hopefully it's good for the gas stations, it's good for the other users that will take the outlets. So I'm not going to belabor it. I'm going to turn it over to Jason, and Jason's got a nice PowerPoint. So.
Thank you, Dennis. Good evening, all. Once again, Jason Pessoa. I reside in Yorkville as well as have my business here. We are very excited as a group to bring the Neighborhood Cinema Group to Yorkville. It has been quite a process to attract a company of this caliber to our city, and we think that you are going to appreciate what they can bring to Yorkville as well as the residents. Right here you see the site plan. We have another board of it right back here. If you have any questions specifically to the site plan, Jim Rados would be a better person to explore that one. As far as the Neighborhood Cinema Group, I'm kind of their mouthpiece tonight. Jeff Geiger, the president of NCG Theaters, will be at one of our meetings soon. So the Neighborhood Cinema Group is a family-owned and operated theater company since 1985. They're headquartered currently in Owasso, Michigan. NCG, as it's referred to, currently operates 14 theaters with 135 screens. All first run, by the way. NCG actually prefers to operate in smaller communities. They kind of shy away from anywhere where it's heavily populated because they're a hometown feel type company. And once you get to know them, you'll recognize it right away. NCG is also very active in the communities it operates in. They actually have premieres when a movie comes out, and they would invite the local celebrities in Yorkville, including high school basketball teams, football teams, and the like. NCG currently has theaters in Michigan, Indiana, Tennessee, and Georgia. NCG also will only build one theater at a time to ensure that it's going up in a proper manner. So there's a lot of character in this company, and it's all coming to Yorkville. This is a mock-up of a proposed look of what our theater would look like. It would be distinguished as NCG Yorkville Cinemas. These are just further elevations, backside, front. Can't really see it there. Here's an evening shot of one of the cinemas, which would be very similar to the proposed cinema, as well as a day shot, similar. So you can tell that it's a reputable company, and it would add value to the city. A little bit about the theaters itself. The proposed theater is approximately 37,500 square feet. NCG will employ approximately 50 people. 100% digital projection and sound, so perfect clarity, perfect sound in every one of the theaters. 10 screens total, so it'll be a 10-plex, with 3D capability throughout every theater, and seating for 1,900. 100% stadium seating throughout all 10 theaters, and a little kick that NCG brings to the table. They have created NCG Extreme. NCG Extreme is proprietary to the Neighborhood Cinema Group itself. It has a 70-foot screen, upgraded leather recliners, and the biggest asset is they're not limited by the release of IMAX films. So they can literally project any movie at any time, in 3D or not, on their NCG Extreme. So it's a very large draw. One of the other biggest things, free drink and popcorn refills all the time. You gotta love that. The proposed open day currently is November 15th of 2013, and as Dan had mentioned, we are looking to break ground as soon as we possibly can. And then, Jim, would you like to say anything further or in regard to the site plan?
Yeah, I'm really excited about bringing this project to Yorkville. Dealing with Jason and Lynn, the team we put together to get these people here was extraordinary. We brought them in from Michigan to see the town. We took them around. We had lunch. We spent the full day just giving itself for Yorkville, and it sold itself. So, being a 35-year resident, proud of our area. And this is not only just for the theater, it's for the whole site, too. And we're gonna be doing some good things over there. It's been an eyesore for a long time. I lived in that subdivision for 35 years, and going past it every day kind of been a burn my saddle. So being able to get this done, it'll be a great positive thing. So I'm going to let Lynn say a little something here, and about the site plan. We're good with it. We're going to be able to add on, to the other lots when we have other people. We are talking to other people too. So,
I do have to add, while Lynn's getting up here, that Jim took them to a very fine local restaurant, Lakeview Grill, for lunch. His son did a supreme job, and that was the ceiling of the day.
I just want to say how thrilled I am that Jim Rados, who I have known for many years, and a local developer, is the person that has embraced this. And Jim is committed to working with local tradespeople. He does on all of his projects. So this is a project that will see many local Yorkville tradespeople being able to work on building this. Also, the folks from NCG, they had a little band on their arm that said, exceed expectations. And as we sat with Jeff, the president, I said, why are you wearing this, like Live Strong, but it said exceed expectations. And he said, that is their motto of what they do on a daily basis. And what they do is they hire people from the community, and they strive to have friendly faces and people that want to make the theater a place that is welcoming. Also, with this NCG Extreme, it will be something that is not at other current local theaters. So we will have an advantage, and people will be coming to our theater in Yorkville. Kennel 10 or the Wow Cinema does not feature something like that. So it will really be a draw for our community. And then secondly, as we've been going through this, obviously this is the first piece of the puzzle. But I want to assure you that there are other users that are out there that already kind of got the buzz, and we're going to be working hard to just finish this off as quickly as possible and really make this corner a destination again. It will be the jewel, because it is. It's Main and Main in Yorkville. So it will be a place that everybody in Kendall County and beyond are talking about. Thank you.
One other fact I didn't mention, again, you folks that have lived in the community a long time have seen the nice job Jim has done on the buildings. The school district is in, nearly all of our medical clinics are in, built nice brick buildings. He actually is going to be the general contractor and build the building as well. So that's how we can stand here and assure you that there's a local contractor. So it is local people building it, don't have total control. When we get to answer any questions we can, we'll sit back and listen to your discussion.
Okay, you have the incentive package in front of you, which I thought was reasonable. Staff is in agreement. We are looking for direction. Staff is looking for direction on this. Brought the PUD, bring it back, the EDC. Yes.
I just want to comment that the incentives are just, they're very good for the city. I don't think they're asking for anything that is unreasonable. And I think with the, Mr. Rados is just fantastic in all the developments he has produced for this town. He is such a very dedicated person to the city of Yorkville. And I believe he goes above and beyond on anything he does, any project, anything. And the entire team, I would like to congratulate. Jason, we just met you, and what a job. You're bringing these people in. I mean, that's fantastic. I have nothing but praise for you. That was wonderful. And Lynn, the same thing. We asked you a couple of months ago, do something about Countryside, and you did. And And, of course, Attorney Kramer, you're always there, you're always
Thank you.
helping us, and it's quite a team, and I'm very impressed with all of you, and I support this 100%.
Thank you. Good, you know, your board.
Yes.
Any other comments or questions? Yes, sir.
I'm very pleased this is happening. We've been waiting a long time for some development, and it's going to fill a great need. I mean, obviously, we've got our residents going out of town to go to movie theaters, and we need to keep them in town. We need to bring people into our town, and I'm excited. I think this is got great potential. I like the idea we're going to get not only construction jobs, but we're going to create 50 permanent jobs. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard kids in our community, high school kids, saying, I can't find any work, can't find any jobs. Well, hopefully this will help correct that situation a little bit. So I'm all for it. I'd like to see us move ahead here.
Yeah, about a year ago in admin, we were talking about our bonds and the problems we were facing and the things we had to pay off. And we all know the situation with the TIF and Countryside itself and what that would look like in a few years if we didn't do something about it. And obviously we gave direction to Lynn, and Lynn, thank you, you did a wonderful job, and Jason. And we talked about kind of like the snowball effect, you know, once we get people interested in Yorkville again, it's going to build upon itself, and that's exactly what we're seeing. We've seen things in the past that are developing, we see this, and we still see things that are coming down the chute. So this is exactly the kind of forward-thinking thing we need for Yorkville, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. So as far as the incentives that they're asking for, I think they're very reasonable. I think it's going to help us tremendously, not now, but in the future when those TIF payments are coming due. I think that this is really going to make a difference. So I'm really excited, and thank you for putting it together for everyone. So looking forward to it.
Anyone else? Thane?
I'm looking forward to it too. I'm very excited about this, and hopefully it is open by the time Hunger Games comes out in November.
I think it's great that we do have a local guy doing this. Somebody that has equity in the community and is willing to come forward and do this. It's good to see you guys are working on this project. The incentives are good. They're not asking for any of our sales tax to be kicked back to them, so this will be a positive benefit to the community. We're going to get our 1% additional sales tax, so that is a great benefit to us. As they said, there's 1,900 seats on the theater.
I give credit to staff of the city attorney suggesting that, so that take it to your side.
Well, good to hear. There's only one thing I'm going to say that I'm going to push and see if we can work out is on the parking lot. You asked for some concessions on those. I would like to see that push. As it stipulated, there was reference made to Kendall Marketplace and how they did. I think we can push this a little bit and be on par or a little above what they've done. But otherwise, I'm all in favor of this and getting it done and having a great destination for Yorkville. Thanks. Good job, guys.
Anything else? No. Bart, you have clear direction?
I support this project too, and as someone who moved here when the old theater was there,
Williams family, right?
my kid, my daughter, could never understand why we tore it down, the old one, and you know, I never had a good explanation for that for her. So it'll be neat to see it go back up in basically the same spot.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate the comments, and we'll keep working with staff and your city attorney. Thank you.
No, we need is Dairy Queen.
The whole is being done. The server's already been lighted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan. All right. Next, we'll go on to minutes for approval. We have two sets of minutes here. We'll go one by one, I guess. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the City Council for August 28, 2012 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Comments or questions on the minutes? Yes, sir.
On the first set, under Mayor's report, for the appointment of Alderman Cook, I apologize, Alderman Cook, it says near the bottom, her main concern was that Mr. Cook was going to be blindsided as far as park and recs. I think that's supposed to be one-sided, I think was the concern.
Yeah.
So not blindsided, one-sided. I think he knows his park and recs pretty well. And I think that's all I had for this one, yeah.
Anyone else? We'll vote to approve those as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
Next is, I will entertain a motion to approve the City Council for September 11th, 2012 as presented.
So moved. Second.
Comments or questions on that set of minutes?
Just one, for clarification. After the moment of silence, when we had the presentation of the collage, would that be separated out as an actual presentation?
I would think so. It wasn't on the agenda. I guess that's why it's difficult to say it really wasn't on the agenda. We were going to do it under citizen comments. I just threw it in after the moment of silence. But I think it's a good idea to move it under presentations.
So to change the order and put the presentations after, or presentations why, or just move presentations up to the top?
New presentation. I would just have.
Yeah, I move presentations right after the moment of silence, yeah. Any other comments or questions on that set of minutes? Okay, so all in favor of approving those as amended?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next on the mayor's report, I do have a proclamation for senior services that I would like Alderman Spears to read.
Oh, no, you were going to.
Bear with me, it is a long one, but it is a very worthy cause. So, United City of Yorkville proclamation for Senior Services Associates Day, October 19th, 2012. Whereas the aging population is spurring an increased demand for and development of assisted and supportive living facilities, caregiver assistance, legal services, healthcare needs, and other day-to-day services. And whereas on August 31st, 1973, the Senior Services Associates Incorporated was established with a mission to be a nonprofit agency dedicated to sustaining and improving the quality of life for individuals and their caregivers by providing access to the social services they need. They are dedicated to preserving independence, promoting mental and physical well-being, and protecting the rights and dignity of the seniors they serve. And whereas the Senior Services Associates, Inc. was designated by the Illinois Department on Aging to be the care coordination unit for Kane, Kendall, and McHenry counties. There's now a total of 5 offices located in McHenry, Crystal Lake, Elgin, Aurora, and Yorkville, serving over 27,000 seniors. And whereas in 2011, Senior Services Associates served over 27,000 seniors and their families in all 3 counties. They help link seniors with resources to help them live the highest quality of life possible in their own homes as long as safely manageable, and to assist seniors and their families making choices and decisions when other options must be considered. And whereas as care coordination units, we are one-stop shopping centers for services for adults 60 years and older. In order to best advocate for seniors in the community, the Senior Services Associates is a member agency of many organizations and agencies, including the Community Care Advisory Committee, Senior Citizen Service Committee, American Society on Aging, and a number of county organizations. Now therefore I, Mayor Gary J. Bielinski, do hereby proclaim Friday, October 19th, 2012, as Senior Services Associates Day in the United City of Yorkville, and do hereby call upon all residents of this great city to join me in supporting the aims and goals of this agency. Dated this 25th day of September, 2012. So number, October 19th. Okay, next we have collective bargaining agreement between FLP Labor Council and the Yorkville Sergeants Union. I guess we should have moved this one too under amendments, because we're going to have a quick executive session before we do this, so we'll put it at the end after executive session and come out and vote on it after that. Public Works Committee report, we did have an item moved from consent agenda, the South Shore gas station groundwater. So we need a motion and a second to approve that.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Comments or questions on the shell ground?
Yeah, I just had some minor questions. On page 3 of the agreement, that's, first of all, is this agreement going to be recorded on the property? This is here. Okay. Then I had two more questions at the bottom of page 3. One of the provisions says that if while we're doing any construction work, we go into that area, we're going to give them 60 days notice. The only question I had was with the construction of Route 47, and this zone actually extends up north all the way up to Walgreens. And it's right close where that barrier is going to be between the construction and this new zone. If there's an issue there, is this going to delay the 47 project if we have to give them 60-day notice?
No, we don't think that the construction for Route 47 will extend into that area. There's a small buffer there, and then even if there's a clause in the sentence that allows us under emergency or immediate threat, basically, to be able to go in. So delaying the Route 47 project, in my opinion, probably could be turned.
And then, obviously, this is an indemnity agreement for us, our benefit, so I'm fine with it. The only thing is at the bottom, page 3, third line from the bottom, when you read it, and it says, it will not be responsible in any way for the costs associated with encountering, removing, or disposing of contamination. I was wondering if, I know it's picky, but if we can change that it to the city, because it could also refer to shall. And I don't want any misunderstanding that it is not responsible. As referred to shall. So it can just be changed to the city.
Yeah, I believe the fact that you could is enough reason.
Right. And that's it?
Yeah.
So if we can make those changes, I'm good.
Any other comments or questions on this one? Okay, so roll call on the corrected version heading the city. Roll call, please.
Teeling,
Aye.
Coe,
Aye.
Hut,
Aye.
Muns,
Aye.
Spears,
Aye.
Colosimo,
Aye.
Buckhalter,
Aye.
Wiltshire.
Aye.
Okay, next is Economic Development Committee report. Mark, do you want to take that?
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to approve a first supplemental agreement to the Kenwood Estates Development Agreement and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so the last time we talked about this item was actually a couple months ago. There's an agreement in your packet. It's not been reviewed by committee. The last meeting that we had was actually, I believe it was committee of the whole or a city council meeting, so the direction was to staff to draft the agreement, bring it back. And so we think that the agreement incorporates all of the items that were in the memo in the previous meeting.
And we feel comfortable that the 339,000 is more than enough for basically what's there or not there.
Yeah, to secure the remaining items on the site that could be an issue or that have existing infrastructure in the ground.
And any future developer would then have to start all over and put up new letters of credit and start over. All right.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Hut,
Aye.
Muns,
Aye.
Spears,
Aye.
Colosimo,
Aye.
Buckhalter,
Same.
Wiltshire.
Aye.
Teeling,
Aye.
Coe.
Aye.
We have to read the motion, I think, to the staff recommend table on this.
You need a motion and then a motion to table, correct? Are you going to table? Is it a correct?
Up to the records, you need a motion to approve, second, and a motion to table.
All right, and I'd like to make a motion to approve a sixth amended intergovernmental cooperation agreement for the Aurora Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, contingent upon the commitments made in the letter from Executive Director Chris Hamilton to the United City of Yorkville dated September 5, 2012, and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute.
Second.
No comments or questions, we can take a motion to table.
So moved.
Roll call on the table motion.
So there's another, so the second one, the first motion.
Diane seconded, right?
Second. No, I second it. I made a motion.
Diane
You made a motion.
And then the table, Martin, Alderman Weston, motion, Jackson,
Roll call.
Lentz,
Aye.
Spears,
Aye.
Colosimo,
Aye.
Buckhalter,
Aye.
Ostrowski,
Aye.
Teeling,
Aye.
Coe,
Aye.
Pat.
Aye.
Excuse me, Mayor. I made the motion to table. Alderman Funkhauser seconded. Clarification. Thank you.
Are we having a date to when it's coming down?
October 10th. Next meeting. Public Safety Committee report?
I'd like to make a motion to approve an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances providing for liquor control regarding beer garden / patio licenses and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute.
Comments or questions? None. Anything you want to get background on or no?
Sure. There's a new restaurant going in that was requesting a patio license, Mexican restaurant. They're, obviously, right now, we're only approving, actually creating the license. We're not approving giving it to the specific restaurant. They still have to apply and go through the liquor commissioner. But we only have 8 patio licenses, and they're all being used. And this restaurant's going to bring in a new restaurant and business, and they want a patio. To give them the opportunity to apply, we have to make a 9th patio license. So right now, we're simply approving the license itself, not who's going to receive it.
I drove past there the other day and noticed it's in the old Dr. Doe.
Dr. Doe Pizza, yeah.
Any idea when they're opening, Pete, or anyone?
Yeah, they said they should be opening, they should get their C of O tomorrow. And they said they'd be open probably within 2 to 3 days from then.
Really?
Yeah, because the fire department's been through, health department was going through today, after I was there. So their ducks are on rollers with food delivery.
I heard that they had very good food there, in another establishment, and then they bring food everything. I'm excited. Any other comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Spears,
Aye.
Colosimo,
Aye.
Buckhalter,
Aye.
Ostrowski,
Aye.
Teeling,
Aye.
Coe,
Aye.
Pat.
Aye.
Oh, Lentz.
Already passed.
I would like to make a motion to veto the lease agreement approved by the KenCom Executive Board on August 23rd, 2012, between Kendall County and the KenCom for the use of the basement of the of the Kendall County Public Safety Center.
Second.
Comments or questions on this one? Alderman Spears.
Well, to veto it, we would need 2 municipalities, and I checked with Plano, and they are not going to support the veto.
You need 2 or 3? Oh, you need 2 other than us?
No, you need 2 total.
2 total. Right.
Where's Oswego stand?
They abstained last night.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So we're out there solo again.
That's what the change their heart they had, because they were all on,
Oh, with Plano?
that plan.
They thought it was useless. It's going to be like a dead-end type thing, and, it's just going to carry on forever. So I guess they were discouraged with the last discussions and agreement.
That just doesn't surprise me, considering they never paid their KenCom legal bill to us.
Oh, really?
Really?
It was quitting them this year.
Yes, sir.
I mean, personally, I think it's a matter of principle, we still veto it. So they get one vote, and a veto fails, and that's fine, at least the residents know where the city of Yorkville stood. The county couldn't get their money one way, so they just doing this to get their money a different way. They're renting out their own building to, in essence, themselves. So I say we still veto it, and we lose, and it's a democratic process, and the residents knew where we stood, and we move on.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, roll call.
Spears?
Aye.
Colosimo?
Aye.
Buckhauser?
Aye.
Wilczewski?
Aye.
Teeling?
Aye.
Coe?
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
Munns?
Aye. Next, what do we have here? We have Administration Committee, no report. Park Board, no report. Planning Commission, we do have a couple of mile-and-a-half reviews. I'll entertain the motion to recommend to the Kendall County Board to approve an amended special use permit for a public course facility within the Equestrian Estates at Legacy Farm subdivision located at 17 Ash Road in unincorporated Kendall County.
Second.
We need someone to first.
No.
Move. Now it's Rose, we need a second.
Second.
Comments or questions on this? Christie, do you want to do a very brief background?
It's pretty straightforward. There's already a question used there. It's private, it's public. Nothing changing in regards to the use.
And did the county already approve this?
This is one that they've already looked at. They haven't approved this one yet, but they have looked at it. It's been before they
Okay. Yes.
I guess maybe I don't understand why we have to vote on it too.
As part of the review process, I mean, we're within a mile and a half.
Oh.
We have an option to oppose it.
Right.
Formally do a resolution.
Which would then trigger more than a simple majority approval on the part of the county board. So it's an important consideration.
Any other questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Colosimo?
Aye.
Buckhauser?
Aye.
Wilczewski?
Aye.
Teeling?
Aye.
Coe?
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
Munns?
Aye.
Spears?
Aye.
Next is a motion to recommend to the Kendall County Board to approve rezoning the, how do you say it? Hemmington Road property? Located in unincorporated Kendall County at 7400 East High Point Road from R1 one-family residence to A1 agricultural.
So moved.
Second.
Comments or questions on this one? Same deal?
Pretty simple, it's a downzoning actually. If he wants to put a guest house on the property, he can't do that in R1, so it's downzoning at A1, so he can do that.
Welcome.
Buckhauser?
Aye.
Wilczewski?
Aye.
Teeling?
Aye.
Coe?
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
Munns?
Aye.
Spears?
Aye.
Colosimo?
Aye.
We have no ZBA report, no city council report, city clerk, no city treasurer's report, and community and liaison reports. Alderman Spears.
I have a few items here. I'd like to give a report on the Area Agency on Aging. It won't be quite as long as the mayor's report earlier. Fiscal year 2013 budget passed by the Illinois General Assembly did not include funding for the Illinois CARES RX Pharmaceutical Assistance Program. The circuit breaker property tax rebate program is still authorized, but yet will not be funded for fiscal year 2013. After the budget was adopted, a bill reinstating Illinois CARES was introduced in the Senate with an income limit of twice of poverty level and an asset limit equal to that for federal extra help. No comparable bill had been introduced in the House, and the Senate's bill's prospects were uncertain. Illinois Cares RX enrollees who also receive federal extra help will suffer little loss of benefits. And enrollees with AIDS have a special program for those costly drugs, but most other Illinois Cares enrollees will have only their Part D plan from July 1st on. Some drug manufacturers offer free or low-cost drugs to low-income patients, but some exclude Medicare beneficiaries, and it is often a complicated process to apply for these drugs. There have been some significant changes in the Medicaid long-term care rules. The original draft of the bill would have reduced the community spouse asset allowance from $113,000 to $22,000, and a monthly maintenance needs income allowance from $2,800 to $1,700. The elder law bar had lobbied successfully to restore these levels to last year's amounts, $109,000 and $2,739. The law also effectively eliminates spouse refusal, which allows the spouse with separate assets above the asset allowance to refuse to disclose the amounts without affecting the other spouse's Medicaid eligibility. In financial abuse of seniors, a recent study of financial exploitation of seniors shows that seniors suffer at least $2.9 billion in losses to scams and other forms of abuse in 2010. And that was a 12% increase within 2 years. The study by MetLife Mature Market Institute and the National Committee for the Prevention of Elder Abuse and Virginia Tech University reported that family members and other trusted individuals are the most common abusers. This often makes the victims reluctant to report abuse, both because of the pain of acknowledging that their children or other relatives and friends are abusive, and the fear of losing control of their assets or being placed in a nursing home if the abuse is reported. And I have a very special announcement. I would like to encourage people to support a Special Olympic athlete, Yorkville resident Jeremy Kuhn. And I'd like to explain something here. January 30th through February 6th of 2013, Special Olympics athletes from Illinois will join others from across the entire country and travel to Korea. Jeremy of Yorkville has qualified to compete in cross-country skiing. He's 18 years old and he is a resident of Yorkville. He has been with the Special Olympics Kendall County Comets for about 8 years. He will be able to attend the Winter World Games along with his coach. However, his parents are going to have to pay for their own travel expenses. And I would like to encourage all Kendall County residents, especially our Yorkville residents, to please support Jeremy and his family. And that's all.
I forgot at the last meeting I was going to give a little update on Hometown Days. It was a great festival this year. We had a big turnout, especially Sunday, big turnout. We pretty much lost a day because of the rain, but we still were able to turn a small profit on it. Any idea what the attendance was on Sunday, Bert? We had a huge crowd.
I don't. In years past, it's typically throughout the entire day, we expect about 10,000 people. So if it's anything like it was last year, then about 10,000.
Yeah, the carnival was bigger and better. And we really got to hand it to our staff. A lot of them went above and beyond to bring this festival and let it go on without a hitch. There's two that I would really like to recognize. Both Scott Sleazer and Tim Evans. I mean, these guys were incredible. I spent a lot of time at Hometown Days from before it started setting up till tear down. And these guys were just nonstop taking care of anything and everything that came up. So I really appreciate their hard work. Another thing that went on at Hometown Days was the little rivalry between Park Board and City Council to raise tips on Friday night when we worked the beer tent. This year was a little different because we didn't have a big turnout from both groups, so it was kind of one combined group. And we did raise I don't know, close to $300, I think, Bart. And we drew a couple ideas out of who we would donate it to. We mentioned maybe the food pantry or Meals on Wheels. But, yeah, I would like to suggest Jeremy.
That'd be great. Fantastic.
Is everyone in agreement with that? Okay. So very good. I don't know if you, any idea what the exact amount is?
Not exactly.
Well, I thought Tim told me it was almost $300 though, so.
Great, we'd appreciate it very much.
Any other liaison reports, community reports? Okay, we have any staff reports? No report? Didn't think so. Any additional business? Okay. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to clarify something that was said during the public comments over the old jail. I understand your passion for the old jail, but I just want to clarify, nothing we did was under the table here. You used the phrase under the table, and I just don't like that phrase. I mean, we went out for an RFP. It's a request for proposal that is open to the public, that anyone can make a bidding, and pursuant to state law, since we are a non-home rule community, that's what we need to do when we want to sell a building. So at this point, I try to make sure that everybody understands we did nothing under the table. We followed state law, we're going out for an RFP, we'll open all bids, and then we will decide if any of them are attractive enough for us to take, or we don't have to take any of them. So,
and it will be published a minimum of 3 times.
It will be published 3 times in the newspaper. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, I appreciate that you did, and I think maybe we're talking about 2 different things. Before the RFP went out, when we still had volunteers that were working on the jail and doing electrician was doing rewiring and whatnot, we got wind that someone from the city was showing it to prospective buyers before the RFP went out. And that's when all our donations stopped, our volunteers stopped. And I guess that's what I was referring to, not after the RFP. I'd like to see if you give us like 7 years stay on this. This is a bad economy. We know that Harold Oliver has agreed to do the restoration there. No, he's not able to do that. I'm confident that we can put another group together to do that. It's very hard to get people to do volunteer work and donate money if they think you're going to turn around and sell it tomorrow.
Okay, if there's no other additional business, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for collective negotiating matters and quick litigation update.
Second. Roll call, please.
Spears? Aye. Milczewski? Aye. Pelosivo?
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
Teeling?
Aye.
Cook?
Aye.
Buckhauser?
Aye.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve the collective bargaining agreement. I will wait until the recorder going. Now I will entertain a motion to approve the collective bargaining agreement between the Illinois FOP Labor Council representing Yorkville sergeants and the United City of Yorkville, and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute.
So moved.
Second. Comments or questions on the contract? Roll call, please.
Cook?
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
Muns?
Aye.
Spears? Aye. Pelosivo?
Aye.
Buckhauser?
Aye.
Milczewski? Aye. Teeling?
Entertain a motion to adjourn.